We are amazing human beings. Amazing. We can stare truth right in the face and not see a darn thing. We've been on this earth for 2 million years or more. But yet, just 500 years ago, most of us thought the earth was flat. And just 150 years ago, no one thought we could get off the ground. Which begs the question, what timeless truths are we missing today? I think I know one, and I think you do too. Have you ever heard the saying, be careful what you think about, you just might get it. Be careful what you think about, you just might get it. Anybody hear that?
Yes.
And how many of you have thought about how or why it's true? It's the same concept that turns your dreams into reality, your wishes into reality. Thoughts become things. Your thoughts become things. And I don't mean that figuratively. I mean it literally. Now, some people call it manifesting, but it's just your thought becoming a thing. So let me give you some examples. I'm sure you guys have some of your own. But let me tell you about my daughter, Lauren. Lauren creates her reality almost every day, but especially when we're at events. We're at Yankee Stadium, 2009. Robinson Cano, don't you know, had just hit a grand slam. And Lauren's jumping up and down. She has her blue Yankee cap on, her pink Yankee shirt with the number 2 on the back for Derek Jeter. She's really in the moment, jumping up and down. And a cameraman captures her and puts her up on the Jumbotron for more than 50,000 fans to see. Lauren creates a reality. We're at Universal Studios, and she says to me, Dad, I'm going to get up on stage. And there's more than 500 people there. Lauren gets picked to play with the animals. We're at the Phineas and Ferb Live show in Philadelphia. At intermission, one of the actors comes out and picks Lauren to go up on stage. And Lauren had told me before that she's going to get up on stage. And then we go to Hershey Park. And in both 2015 and 2016, Lauren says to me, Dad, let's get there early because I want to get up on stage. And in both years, Lauren gets picked out of hundreds of kids to go up on stage. A thought becomes a thing. So I read The Secret in February of 2008. It talks about this guy who thought about this feather. Not any old feather. Feather with all these etchings and carvings in it. And every morning he wakes up, he thinks about the feather. And every night before he goes to sleep, he thinks about this feather, day after day. And then one day, he's walking down the street, and he looks down, and he sees the exact feather that he imagined in his mind. A thought had become a thing. And then it says, you try. So I did, and I don't know why, but the first thing that popped into my head was cotton balls. Pure white cotton balls. So every morning, starting in February 2008, I woke up, I thought about cotton balls. Every night before I went to sleep, I thought about cotton balls, day after day. Now my daughters were 2 and 4 at the time, and in April it got warm enough here in New York that I started going with them jogging in a double jogging stroller. And we go around this track around my house, and we go to this park, we go up the hill, we get to the playground, I'd let them out, I push them on the swings, I push them down the slide, they get back in to the double jogging stroller, and I jog home. Well, it was May 31st, 2008. I run up that hill, I get to that park, get to the playground, and I'm getting them out of the double jogging stroller, and I saw all over the park. Tons of cotton balls. A thought had become a thing. That's manifesting. And that happens to you all day, every day, whether you know it or not. So think about the thoughts you want. Create your reality as opposed to worrying, which I tell my daughters, Lauren and Morgan, is negative future planning, because you're thinking about what you don't want. So let's talk about beliefs. Your beliefs create your reality. Your beliefs hide behind your opinions about life. Sometimes you have a belief and you don't even know that you have a belief. Some people will say, you have to work hard to be rich and successful. You have to work hard to be rich and successful. That is a limiting belief. And I will tell you, in 2009, I didn't work hard. I had a lot of fun, and I made multiples of what I ever made in my life. So your beliefs and manifesting create your reality. Thank you. Questions. We have 2 to 3 minutes for questions, so anybody. Danielle.
Why do bad things happen to good people?
It's a great question.
No, but I mean it because like I have like one of my best friends is like a really incredible person going through something that's truly horrific.
So, countless reasons. First of all, what's bad? Right? Let's put that in perspective. Sometimes we say something is bad or wrong, and let's get a little bit higher, bigger picture. We need to have something maybe as a struggle or something bad happen for something amazing to happen. I will tell you, and I've talked about my book a few times over the last few weeks, but I got laid off from a job in order for me to move to Zurich and live a dream of traveling around the world for a year and a half. So I say from bad things come good things, and maybe it's not bad, maybe it's just your perspective. But there are countless reasons why seemingly bad things happen to good people. Sometimes it's born of naivete, other times born of nobility. But just because we may see it as pain and suffering doesn't mean that that mutual objectives aren't being met. Right? Something good could be happening in the background, and it doesn't mean that the parties involved were co-creators of the occurrence. So.
How do you stay positively visualizing when you've got so much evidence of failure that it makes it hard to stop worrying?
Great question. So, how do you stay positive when the physical reality is negative? Well, think about what you do want as opposed to what you don't want. So again, worrying is negative future planning. So again, I've talked about visualizing a few times, but spend 5 minutes a day thinking about what you want. Just focus. And if your thoughts start going negative, then think about what you do want. You have certain dreams and desires, think about that as opposed to the physical reality. Because that's one part of life, but we're dreaming 8 hours a day, 7 hours a day when you're sleeping. You could be daydreaming as well and thinking about what you do want. So that's what I do. If something bad going on, flip the thought. Think about what you do want. One more question. Karen.
Okay, so I think you were talking about a lot about the mindset. Your thoughts become things, and I believe the mindset is really important because if you think that I suck, I can't make it, you won't make effort anyway. So the question is, I always want to ask. So how do you keep the balance between I believe I can make it versus how realistic it is for me?
Say again the last part.
I mean, how do you balance it out? For example, I believe I can make it versus how realistic it is for me to make it. Do you understand it?
Yes. So yes, your thoughts and your beliefs have to be within a certain level of physical reality.
Right. Yeah.
So what I say is the thoughts and the beliefs have to be within a certain level of what's real. And if you're not there, then scale it back a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But doubt the doubt. I talk about doubting the doubt in my book. So you have doubts about what's going to happen. So doubt the doubt. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. It just nurtures how make us living a very fulfilled life. And I'm going to the last speech of today's meeting. It's also
1 minute.
1 minute on the clock.